All right, today I'm here with Sarai Lajas at the American Legion Post 639. And which branch of the military did you serve in?
I was in the Army.
Okay, what years?
I went in from 1999 to 2011.
Wow.
Yes.
Why did you sign up for the United States Army?
Because the recruiter I was flirting with was better at his job than I was at mine.
That's an interesting recruitment tactic. Probably the first time I've heard that in the 6 years that I've actually done this. So props to you and I guess him.
Props to the recruiter.
And they kept you in for quite an amount of time, right?
That wasn't the recruiter. That was the Army.
That was the Army. That was the Army's fault. Well, what did you do while you were in the Army?
I was a chaplain's assistant.
Okay, what's that?
Well, basically in peacetime, it's a glorified secretary/counselor.
Okay.
And in wartime, I'm a bodyguard.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. That's actually pretty cool. Did you spend any time overseas?
I did. I was in Iraq 2004, 2005.
Wow. So 2 deployments over those
No, it was just the one. It was just from November to October.
Gotcha. Wow. Did you enlist straight out of high school or?
No. I was 19. I was in college. That's how the recruiter got me. I was waiting tables so I could pay for college, and I was going to join the reserves because in Tennessee it was going to pay for my college. I was like, oh, sweet, good deal. Right, but then I actually halfway through AIT, I fell in love with it and came back home. Was like, I'd like to do this full time.
It's awesome.
And went active duty.
Wow. And so, did you remain the chaplain's assistant while you were in the entire time?
The entire time.
That's incredible. So, why did you decide to get out?
I'm 100% disabled veteran.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
My body finally said, "Okay, ma'am, we're done."
Yeah, and it's if you don't know, it's a very physically. My stepfather is retired, and his body is absolutely broken, head to toe.
No bueno.
For sure. Now, and I felt this was important, what do you do after you were in the military?
So now I am a trauma therapist.
Okay, tell me about that.
I don't know if you or the listeners are familiar with EMDR. It's a treatment modality. It stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Lots of words. But basically, it's one of the most effective trauma therapy approaches out there right now. Mm-hmm. And it kind of changed my life when I knew I was going to be a counselor because of my experience in the military. That was my favorite aspect of my job. So I thought I was going to work with maybe military families because I knew how difficult trauma affected the families. Mm-hmm. Had no idea what I was getting into when I went for my training. For EMDR, it completely changed my life.
Wow.
And so I came back and I was kind of like Oprah. You get EMDR.
Yeah.
You get EMDR.
Because you've seen the results and what it can do.
Well, I experienced it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So that's what I do now.
That's incredible. So I'm assuming you still work with veterans and...
Well, I will if they come, but actually it turns out that the whole world is traumatized.
Yeah.
And so
from something.
So I kind of broadened especially after COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of people
had to look inward for a long time, and if they didn't like what they see coming out, it was a lot harder for a lot. I get that for sure. A lot of relationships that way, a lot of jobs went that way, a lot of people went that way.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the parts of the pandemic I don't think gets talked about a lot. You know what I mean? Probably the mask more than anything else.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming to lunch today. Thank you so much for your service and continuing to serve afterwards. I'm a big proponent of mental health, and I think that's very important. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you for what you're doing. This is very honoring and very surprising. I was shocked to get your call.
Well, whoever submitted you, tell them thanks because they're the one who subbed you. So
yeah, but you're the one who.
Well, yeah, I know.
Affords the opportunity to submit a name.
But I like just like what you do. I like what I do, so that's why I do it. So, but thank you again.